It's been an awful few weeks at this football club. Struggling in the league. We're struggling in the UCL. And despite the awful performances and the garbage results that we've gotten recently, I already have to look ahead because on Sunday, Real Madrid will be traveling to take on Alaves. And you already know what I'm going to say. This is a must-win game. I don't think the players know that, but let us not forget on Football Carnage the importance of these upcoming matches. I'm still trying to recover from the ass whooping that Arsenal gave us at the Emirates. But we now got to turn our attention to Alaves. And I know that we've basically bottled La Liga. I'm already mentally checked out of this title race. But we're not that far off of Barcelona, and anything can happen. So we have to still do our job and pick up as many points as possible. But these guys have just been so awful that I can't even tell you that I feel confident going against a team like Alaves. I don't know what the hell's been going on recently, but these guys need to fix up. It's the business end of the season, and there's a high possibility that we go 0 for 3 with these last remaining trophies. I'm not trying to see that. So we're going to need the boys to put in a good shift. But will they do so? Given the recent history that we've seen over the last few weeks, it's not looking good, bruv. But look, you guys already know how we do on these match previews. Make sure that you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, get in the comment section. We're going to be talking about both teams. And then at the end, I will be predicting the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti puts out there. Or should I say the 11 that I want to see? Because this manager is hella fraudulent. So I have no idea what he's actually going to do. But let's just get into it. Now, let's start off with Real Madrid, right? We're sitting second in the league. I cannot believe that we've bottled the position that we had back in January. I mean, the runs of teams that we've went against recently, right? Like, we've been going against some pretty mediocre sides. This should have been the time in the season where we're just collecting 3 points. But no, we're struggling. We're losing at home to Valencia. We're barely beating Leganes. Shaky wins over Villarreal. I mean, a majority of this season, we have just been awful. And I think we've been so bad that I don't even think that awful makes that much sense to use. It's just, I can't think of a word that's worse than that. We have been shockingly bad. We've been dropping biblical stinker after biblical stinker. Now, look at this La Liga table. We are 4 points behind Barcelona. After we lost against Valencia in our last league match, I told you guys the title race is all but wrapped up. Barcelona have been on some amazing form. They have been by far the best team in Spain. And while mathematically, like I said, we're still in this. So we do have to keep winning because you never know, right? Barcelona, they can capitulate. But it would take a historical kind of collapse for us to overcome them at this point in the season, especially with how we've been playing. But we are going to need some help, right? There's nothing that we can do that can have us overtake Barca without them messing up. But look, Barca are first. They're on 67 points. We are on 63. 30 games played, 19 wins, 6 draws, 5 losses. I've seen more losses in the last 3 months than I saw in like the 18 months before this season kicked off. It's actually a disgrace. It's so crazy because if you look at how the La Liga table was playing out, at the beginning of the season, Barcelona were on smoke. Everybody thought that the league was wrapped up in October, right? People were saying that Barcelona are already the league champions, and then they fall off. We overtake them. We had like at least a 6-7 point gap a few months ago, and then we absolutely bottled it, chat. It is a disgrace. Oh my days. But look, we are playing Alaves, and in theory, it should be a game that we absolutely get 3 points from. But can we really say that with confidence? Let's be honest, right? Now, last time we played them, I think this was like back in September, and this was actually during a part of the season where things were looking a bit positive, right? This is where we went on a nice little 2-game stretch of actually controlling the games and scoring goals, and it looked like the team chemistry was getting better, right? We played Espanyol, we beat them, and then this Alaves game, right? We were winning 3-0. I remember this at the Bernabeu. We were cooking Alaves. We were having so much fun that the home fans started chanting, Vallejo, Vallejo, and Carlo Ancelotti subbed on Jesus Vallejo, and in the span of 10 minutes, we conceded 2 goals at the end. Do you know this is the last game that Jesus Vallejo has played? We've not seen him since. I remember it. It was a comfy day. The watch along was fun. We were laughing. I said, oh my goodness, is our early season blunders turning around? And then we subbed on Vallejo and almost immediately capitulated. I knew that after that performance, Vallejo was going to get sent to the Shadow Realms. As I've said, that was his last game for us. And I don't think he will get another match. His contract runs out at the end of the season. Don't let the door hit you on your way out, you scrub. But nah, we cooked this game, though. Aside from almost bottling it in like the last 10 minutes. Shit, Lucas Vasquez scored, I think, like super early this game. Mbappe bagged. I think Rodrigo scored as well. Like, I remember it just being a good all-around team performance. I would like to see something very similar on Sunday. But, I mean, Alaves in this match, aside from when they scored those 2 goals late, we kind of nullified them, right? And I remember after this game, right, because we played Espanyol, then we played Alaves. And then I think the game after this one was the Madrid Derby. And I remember saying that I feel confident heading into the Madrid Derby off of the 2 performances that we've just had. And Alaves were one of them. So this is a rare time to talk about when we were playing well. We looked so fluid during this game. It was a good performance up until, again, when Vallejo got subbed on. But that's neither here or there, right? I remember the UCL game that came before this one was against, I think, Stuttgart. And they cooked us at the Bernabeu. Oh, my days. I couldn't believe it. And then we did well against Espanyol, did well against Alaves. So let's get 6 points against them this season, right? Do not let these guys be able to take anything off of us. Now, back to some more negative stuff, right? Looking at our recent form. I mean, look at this, bro. We just lost against Arsenal. 3-0 at the Emirates. Declan Rice masterclass. We got absolutely slaughtered during this game. Like, Arsenal outplayed us. At not one time in that game did we even look like a threat, aside from maybe the opening like 10 minutes where we did have that one counterattacking opportunity. We did nothing. Mikel Merino bagging. Declan Rice, 2 free kick goals. I'm not even mad at how they scored, bro. They scored goals that were just perfectly hit. But it's the fact of how shit we looked, which really grinds my gears. Looking at the last time that we played in La Liga, 2-1 loss at home to Valencia. The first time that I've ever seen them beat us at home. Valencia sitting in the bottom half of the table. A team that were fighting relegation. Coming to our ground and getting the win. A disgrace. Copa del Rey at our ground. We're letting Real Sociedad, who have been mid this season, who got knocked out of the Europa League by Manchester United. Manchester United are shit, and they outplayed Real Sociedad. and we let these guys come and score 4 goals at the Bernabeu and force it to extra time. Losing to Atleti in that second leg. Yes, we beat them on pens, but we didn't even score. Leganes, 3-2. Shaky win. A few calls, arguably, you could say, went our way. The 2-1 win against Villarreal right before the international break. We have been awful. And it's actually pissing me off. I need you guys to get in the comment section and let me know what you're saying for Real Madrid's form so far. Like, how do you think we are going to do in this match? But let's talk about Deportivo Alaves, okay? Because they are shit. They are in the bottom half of the table. They are in the relegation zone, okay? You see the first 13 teams on this table, and Alaves are nowhere to be seen. Now, let's scroll down, right? They are sitting 17th. They are only 2 points above Leganes. This is a game that we should be looking at and licking our lips. Alaves should be like a steak dinner. We should be like a lion in the wild, and we see a wounded gazelle. It's time to eat. It's time to feast. You would think that's how it would be. But every single time that we've played one of these teams in the bottom half of the table, they turn into the Avengers against Thanos, bruv. These men put in their best performance against us. Alaves, after 30 games, have only won 7 times. 9 draws, 14 losses. They have a negative 11 goal difference. There is no reason why we should not be going to their ground and absolutely slaughtering them. But we know football is not played on paper, right? It is a game of momentum. And luckily for us, they haven't really had that much of it. But they did win their last game, right? I mean, look at their last 5. 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. This is about as good as it's gotten for Alaves since this entire season has started, because they've not beaten anybody significant, right? They didn't beat us. They didn't beat Barca. They didn't beat Atleti. I don't think they took points off of any of those clubs as well. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but looking at their recent form, right, they did just beat Girona. Yo, Girona have fallen off a cliff this season, which was to be expected. But, yeah, again, nothing really significant here. Again, I don't think that they took points off of any of the big boys this season, right? I mean, like, yeah, they lost to Barca 1-0. Yeah, nah, man. Alaves have just been a nothing team, right? Like, they're just trying to stay up. And they are going to be motivated for this game, because with them only being 2 points above 18th, they're going to need to pick up as many points as possible, because they're not going to want to get relegated, right? So, look, talk to me about Alaves. If anybody in here has watched a lot of their games, I don't think I've watched Alaves since the last time that they played Barcelona, right? They're not a team that I'm keen on watching. But let's get into some Madrid updates. Now, quick reminder, Carlo Ancelotti is suspended for this match against Alaves, so his son, David Ancelotti, will be the manager for this game. Now, I think it's so dumb when managers get suspended, because we all know, right? You think David's going to do something different than what his dad is? No, his dad's still going to tell him what to do. It's still going to be a very Carlo-influenced 11 and tactics. Don't think that he's going to do something different or we're going to play better-looking football. Who knows? But I highly doubt it. I think Carlo did get a yellow card against Valencia. So, yeah, he's just not going to be available for this match. I don't really care, to be honest, right? We all know, bro, Carlo out, so his son can't do much worse than him, right? Now, on the player front, Dani Ceballos, he is back for, he's back in training, right? And they're saying that more than likely he will be available for Arsenal, but at the time of me recording, right, I don't know what the match squad is going to look like for this game, but with Ceballos being back in training, there is a possibility that he is on the bench for this match. And if he's available, I would bring him on the bench just to give him a little bit of game time before we have to go crazy against Arsenal in our second leg. Now, looking at the other injuries that are going on, right, Lunin is not available, right? He has a muscle injury. He's going to be out for at least a month. Ferland Mendy, he may be back for the Arsenal game. I know that there's a possibility, but who knows? I haven't really seen any updates with him. Eder Militao, Danny Carvajal, of course, these guys are done for the season. ACL injuries, we'll see them next season. And then Camavinga, right? They're bringing up the suspension that he has, but that is for the second leg against Arsenal. It does not impact the game against Alaves. Now, let's get into my favorite part of every single match preview, and that is building the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti needs to put out there, but more so his son, David, because Carlo is suspended. But again, we all know, right? Come on. Carlo's going to still be picking the 11s and these different things. But I'm going to be real, chat. I started off this video by saying it's a must-win game because it is. But considering that we have to play Arsenal 2 days after that, I think we have to rotate. We have to. Because if we're going to have any chance in the UCL, we need everybody fresh for that game. Now, this does suck for us. And this does play into Barcelona's hands a bit more because, like I said, you do have to rotate. Because I don't want to risk injuries to some of these players. Bro, I'm going to be real. I would damn near rotate this entire 11. I need everybody fully rested for the remontada against Arsenal. It's the only chance that we have. The players are going to have to damn near play the game of their lives next Wednesday. So I do think that we have to slightly rotate for this game. So let me know what you guys are thinking about this 11 that I'm going to have to put out there, okay? Now, in goal, I would, if I'm the manager, right? I don't think this is what he will exactly do because, again, I'm going to rotate. But if I was the manager, Thibaut Courtois came back from injury early to play against Arsenal. Do I want to risk him against, and again, we're playing a team that's sitting 17th. If these guys can't get a result against the team that's fighting relegation, then what the hell are they doing at this club? We're not playing Atleti. We're not playing Barca. We're not playing Bilbao. We're not playing Betis. We're not playing one of the better teams in the league. We should be able to rotate and still get 3 points this game. So I'm going to have to just trust my squad players. Now, again, I don't think that Thibaut Courtois should play in this game. I don't want to risk him getting injured. There's not going to be any Lunin next week. So if Courtois gets injured because we play him this week, then we're going to have to start Fran Gonzalez against Arsenal in a must-win game. And I don't want to see that. So I'd much rather start Fran Gonzalez against Alaves. I actually don't think that he played that bad when we went against Valencia last week. He made his debut. I don't blame him for any of those goals that we conceded. Our defense was a disgrace. Fran Gonzalez actually made a big save in that game as well. So for me, start him again. This is when you have to use your squad. This is when you have to rotate. You cannot risk any injuries. At right back, I'm going Lucas Vazquez, right? Because obviously I don't think anybody expects him to be starting against Arsenal. So Lucas Vazquez at right back. Now, see, the back line is where it does get a bit tricky. I would go, I'm going to say it. I'm going to go Vallejo, bruv. I'm going Jesus Vallejo. Now, I don't see, look, I'm going Jesus Vallejo. I'm going David Alaba. I know. Chat, I don't think he's going to do it. This is just what I would do, considering what needs to be done on Wednesday. Okay? Left back. I'm going Fran Garcia. All right? Because we don't have any other option there, to be very honest. Now, in the midfield, I'm going to go Camavinga because since he's suspended for the second leg against Arsenal, he should be good for this game. And then I'm going to go, I want to say Modric, but I also want Modric to start on Wednesday. Just to be very honest, like I think that we're going to need Modric to be able to break down that Arsenal defense. So we're going to need Modric rested. So I'd say maybe Tchouaméni because he didn't play in the first leg. So he is a little bit rested. So I'd say Camavinga and Tchouaméni as a double pivot. In the 10, I'm going with Arda. I think Arda can start this game. Yeah, I know, chat, it's crazy, but It is what it is. On the right, I'm going for Brahim Diaz. Now on the left, see, this is where I'm. See, now in the 9, Endrick. But I am struggling to figure out who we should be playing on the left. Like, I don't know if maybe it should be maybe a kid from the academy. Like, again, chat, I don't think that any of our front four should be seeing the pitch this game unless we're really struggling. Like, we literally need everybody to give 1,000,000% a few days after this game. That's kind of where I'm thinking about this from. Like, I don't even think that Tchouaméni should play this entire game. If we're able to get a nice lead, Tchouaméni should be getting taken off. And then if Ceballos is available, then you bring on Ceballos to give him minutes. But on the left wing, I have no idea who I'm going to go with here. I mean, we could rotate, right? Maybe you just play Vinicius to let him maybe get some good form before that second leg, because he's been shit this entire second half of the season. I'm still waiting for Vinicius to show up. But we have to rotate. Like it or not, the Arsenal game is more important because we have a very high possibility of getting knocked out of the UCL in the quarterfinals, which is not good enough. And this team, though it is heavily rotated, this is still better than whatever the hell Alaves are going to be throwing out there. Like, let's just be very honest. If these guys cannot get 3 points, then what the hell are they doing at this club? So let me know what you guys are saying for my predicted starting 11, right? Make sure that you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, right? Get in the chat, get in that Discord as well. It is pinned in the comment section, and we will be live with a watch along on Sunday for this matchup. You don't want to miss it. Turn on those post notifications. Holla Madrid!